One thing that has continued to stand out to me throughout this course is the impact and effects of mental health, trauma, generational trauma on our students' learning abilities. This year, I am new to my school district after spending 2 years in another school. My new school is a Title I school. My students come to me from various home lives, situations, walks of life. I chose to focus on the habit of learning to listen to our students with understanding and empathy. I've always been highly focused on relationships with my students at the forefront of my classroom. I just feel like that really sets the foundation for successful learning environments for all. But that really came to a head at the end of last year. In my first class, which was 22-23, I had a student who was very academically bright. He loved school. He said all the right things. He was kind of like a young man or an old man in a young child's body. Um, it was not until the end of the school year where I started to put some pieces together and realize that he was coming to me from a traumatic home. Um, I did my role as a mandated reporter and tried everything that I could to help this young student of mine. Unfortunately, he lost his life to domestic violence in April of last year, of this year. And because of that, I chose to relocate and kind of start afresh. I chose to relocate to a Title I school where I knew that I would have students um, with with less than desirable backgrounds, living situations, because I wanted to continue to reach out and impact those students with relationships, with trust, with love, while supporting them on their educational journeys. So I've considered trauma throughout this course. I've considered mental health. How can this impact my students' learning? How can I ask my students to meet a generic black and white state standard when everybody's learning abilities are different? We all learn differently, even as adults. And I think that was my biggest shift in education as a teacher, is realizing that I cannot just stand at the front of a classroom and read from curriculum and expect 23 differentiated students to understand and learn the concept of what I'm teaching with one fatal swoop. I have had to listen to my students when they tell me I don't understand, or give them the freedom and the space to say, I can't figure it out the way you showed me, but here's how I did it. Could this also work? Teaching is a collaboration. It's a teamwork between me and my students. And I think when I shifted my mindset to realizing that my students just need support, they need the freedom and the space to feel safe, to feel loved, valued, and seen and heard, everything kind of changed for me. My class this year is the hardest group of students, and quite honestly, the most misbehaved group of children I've ever experienced in my entire life. It has been a struggle, but I am trusting that I am where I am meant to be. I am taking very small victories every single day and adding them into the big victory pot. And I know, because I am shifting my mindset to be empathetic to the situations and the children coming at me, meeting them where they are and supporting them, and however their learning journey looks, that ultimately we will be successful and that foundation for learning is set. So that is kind of my biggest takeaway. I have dedicated my teaching career to my student, really just to meet my kids where they are, to listen to them, support them how they need me to support them, be empathetic. Kids are human beings too. Some love to learn, some hate to learn. Some hate school, but love the security that school offers. And so I think I personally just keep that in the forefront of my mind. It keeps myself in check. It helps me remember why I do what I do, and it keeps me enthusiastic in my career, because everybody, all students deserve that equal chance of a fair education.